Hello everybody and welcome to Wise Words with Teacher Nick, coming to you from sunny Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. In today's video we are going to look at the IELTS test writing part 2, and more specifically we're going to look at how to write a great introduction to your part 2 essay. The idea for this video really comes from some workshops I've been doing recently where I work about IELTS, and what I found is that a lot of the students I've been teaching are not sure how to create or to write a good introduction to the part 2 essay in the IELTS test, and I thought I would make a quick video about how to do this and provide some examples and explain how to use synonyms and how to sort of paraphrase the question that you're given to make a solid introduction that provides a good foundation for the rest of your essay. So let's get into it.
Okay then, let's take a look. So IELTS writing task 2, just a quick outline. For this task you need to write 250 words. It's recommended that you take about 40 minutes to do this. A lot of people do this task first before part 1 because it carries more marks and it takes longer to do. Most people consider it to be more important. So what do you have to do? Well, basically you have a question, an essay question, like something like this. So this one here, a person's worth nowadays seems to be judged according to social status and material possessions. Old-fashioned values such as honor, kindness and trust no longer seem important. So this is a sort of classic two-sided essay question that you would find in the IELTS test part 2. The idea here is for you to consider both sides of an argument, present evidence or points from both sides, and then for you in the conclusion to draw an opinion or to give your opinion about which side you come down on in the argument. Perhaps we'll do another video later about how to present those ideas in later paragraphs, but this video really is about the introduction. Now, what is recommended is that you basically take the question that you're given and you paraphrase or you rewrite this introduction using synonyms. So what you're basically expressing the same idea but with different words in a different way. This can be quite tricky, especially to do in a timed scenario setting. Again, it takes a bit of practice, but once you get the idea of replacing words or changing verb forms, for example, the more you do it, the quicker you'll get. So I'll use this one as an example and sort of walk you through my thinking and how to paraphrase it. So as I mentioned, guys, this is the question here. A couple of points at the bottom. Obviously, what you need to do is paraphrase the question, as I already mentioned. Think of some synonyms that for the key words, and obviously, do it quickly. It's very important. Don't spend too long thinking about it. It's not the end of the world if you don't do it fantastically, but it's a good way to set up your essay. Yeah. So the way I've done it here, we've got the original question at the top, and in green we've got my version of the question, my paraphrase essentially, the way I've rewritten it. So you can see the difference here. My version is this: the modern world seemingly values people based on what they own and how much money they have, rather than on traditional principles such as trust and kindness. So you'll see it's essentially stating exactly the same thing, but I've done it in a different way by using synonyms. Let's quickly look at some of the synonyms that I have used. So, or paraphrases. So instead of nowadays, which was in the original, I've used the modern world. Instead of seems to be, I've used is seemingly. Instead of people are judged, I've changed that to values people. Instead of material possessions, I've changed that to what they own. And instead of old-fashioned values, I've changed that to traditional principles. So you can see that some of the synonyms, for example, instead of values, I've used principles. Again, nowadays instead of modern world. And I've changed the word form. Instead of seems to, I've put is seemingly. So, essentially it's the same root word, but I've changed the form. So, if we go back to the original question and my example underneath, you could see, similar sort of length. But yeah, I've changed the keywords there. So you've got something slightly different that you can call your own and that you can use as a sort of solid base to go ahead and write the rest of your essay. As I mentioned just before, the next step would be to weigh up both sides of the argument, probably a paragraph of each, and then draw a conclusion at the end. If there's any interest in a video about how to do that, then I'll probably go ahead and make one of those at some point. But just for now, I hope this has been useful, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment or get in touch. Okay, thank you very much. See you later.